Hey everyone, it's Kaycie. Today we are going to go through a Vinyasa Flow class where the emphasis and focus is going to be on opening up the hips, the hamstrings, activating into the core, and working some stabilizing muscles for some balancing postures and transitions. So props that you're going to need for today, 2 blocks. We may use these throughout, and also a strap, okay? Having these available just in case, we're gonna jump right on in. Let's start off by grabbing 1 block, and we're gonna come down onto our backs for a supported bridge position. And this will start to kind of loosen up through the lower back to help the hips find a little more movement and space throughout the practice. So just begin to lift the hips away from the ground. You're going to take your block at your desired height to fill the space between your sacrum, the back of your pelvis, and the floor. So as you fill this space, I want you to still feel just a light opening, but nothing too intense. So I want you to feel relaxed, grounded, at ease. Make necessary adjustments until you can find that space to let go within your body and within your mind. So just dropping in here. And we're going to keep the knees bent with the feet flat down on the ground. Separate your feet about the width of your hips or so. I like to think about trying to stack my ankles underneath my knees and finding that appropriate width so that my knees aren't falling in or collapsing out, but I have a nice stable grounding point to release into. Let your arms drop out away from your midline, maybe falling off the sides of the mat. You can slightly roll the shoulders under to let the heart open more here. A nice broadening over the chest, the shoulders, front body, and just allowing the spine to relax down away from your hips. Finding more space, more release, more connection to present moment. And then we're going to spend a little bit of time here connecting with our breath to create fuller, deeper, and more conscious breathing throughout the practice. So to help us kind of stretch the lungs open and prepare for deeper breathing, we're going to go into box breath today. Box breath is going to separate our breathing into 4 parts. The inhale, the pause at the top of the inhale, the exhale, and the pause at the bottom of the exhale. We're going to create equal lengths for all 4 parts. We're going to start with a 4 count, and I'll slowly build from there. If at any point it feels too long of a breath count, just move at your own rhythm, but try to keep equal parts to all 4 sides, okay? Let's all start by exhaling and let the breath empty out of the lungs. Through the nose for a 4 count, breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath, 2, 3, 4. Through the nose, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the bottom, 2, 3, 4. Adding on, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath, 2, 3, 4, 5. Through the nose, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pausing at the bottom, 2, 3, 4, 5. Adding on, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holding, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. Inhale, same count. 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax your breath. Let it become a little more natural. And just observe any changes in your breath. More depth, more space and awareness. And then we're going to lightly start to constrict the airway. As the breath passes down the back of the throat, it'll help to give the breath a more audible sound and sensation, like an ocean wave or Darth Vader breath, or like fogging up a mirror, that same auditory sound. And really trying to maintain this breath work through the entirety of today's class. When you feel disconnected from your breath, let it be maybe a little signal from your body that it needs more presence, more connection, maybe to back off, to modify, rest. Now wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. We're going to slowly pull the right knee towards the chest. Use your hands to cup around the knee or around the back of your thigh, and hold it in place here as you stretch the left leg long out in front of you. We're going for a nice opening through the front of the left hip and quads. So continue to pull your right knee closer and closer until you start to bring more of that opening through the front of the hip. You might even pull in so much that your left foot hovers right above the ground. Just 2 more deep breaths. Slowly release, let your right foot touch down to the ground, bend both of the knees. Then bring the left knee up in towards the chest. Hands wrap around knee or thigh. Hold it in place as you extend your right leg forward as much as you can. Now pull the left knee in closer and closer. Take weight off of the right leg until you feel enough of a stretch. You can stop, or maybe the foot hovers right above the ground, or the foot can even rest on the ground, but you feel a sense of weightlessness. Take 2 more deep breaths. And then slowly release. Both feet touch back down to the floor. Walk the feet in, lift the hips, remove the block from underneath you as you lower the hips back down. You can set the block out of your way for now. Now, once the hips lie flat, just go ahead and sway the knees side to side. Loosen up that lower back, loosen up the movement in the hip joints through the socket, creating a little bit of fluidity in the movement. All right, knees back to center. We're going to reach and grab a hold of our straps. Okay, we're going to stay on our backs a little bit longer before we make our way up and start to build some more energy. So let's lift the right knee to the chest and take the strap, loop it around your right foot, around the ball of the foot, so you have a little more control over the bending of the ankle. And then let's extend the right leg towards the ceiling as best as you're able, whether the knee is bent or straight. We're working towards as much extension as possible. Left knee can stay bent on with the foot on the ground, or you can extend the leg all the way out flat on the floor. It's your choice. Now, as you hold on to the strap ends with your hands, try to relax your shoulder blades to the floor. So maybe that requires holding a little farther down on the strap, and use as minimal effort as possible. Keep reaching through the top leg and see if you can pull it in a little bit closer, kind of testing where that edge is. And then taking really deep ujjayi breaths, breathing spaciousness down the back of that right leg. take one more breath. Okay, so you're gonna keep the strap around the foot. We're gonna let it dangle here for a second. So you're gonna activate the leg, keep it in place as you release a hold of your strap ends. And now the strap is just hanging off the foot and you're using just the muscles through the hip to try to hold and support this position. So extend out through the leg, feel your hamstrings. And then we're gonna activate into our hips by feeling that top leg pull closer and closer towards the upper body. And just hold here for 3, 2, and 1. We're just kind of testing out that mobility. Now let's grab a hold of the strap ends again, holding with your right hand. I like to hold high up on the straps if I can, while still keeping my right shoulder blade grounded. Left hand can rest at the left hip to keep it down. You're gonna take the top leg and slowly open it out to the right side as much as you're able, and really focus on the external rotation through the hip. So you feel the inner thigh rolling down towards the ground. The heel will start to roll up and the toes roll towards the ground. Left hip stays down. Try to use that left hand to keep the left hip grounded. Now as the leg opens to the side, continue pulling it in a little closer to you. Take 2 more breaths. We're gonna go through the same little movements that we went through, or the same movement we went through when the leg was right above us, where we activate after kind of opening, okay? So 1 more breath. If you feel that your leg is in a position where you can't actively hold it there, I want you to back off a little bit, okay? Now, you're gonna let the strap just dangle. Release your hand away from it. Now, really focus on opening up the hip, reaching through the leg, and see if you can move it deeper just with the strength of your hip. Test out that range of motion, that end range. 1 more breath. Now, right hand grabs the strap ends again. Help to lift the leg back to center. All right, now switch hands to the strap ends. Left hand grabs a hold, right arm falls to the side. So first we wanna make sure we're nice and active in this variation. So extend through the heel, pull the leg closer. Then as you feel the tension and resistance, we're gonna keep it and then just move the leg a few inches to the left side, okay? You don't have to move it very much. If you don't feel it, pull it closer and I promise you, you will, okay? Take about 2 to 3 more breaths. If you want a little more intensity, right hand to the top of the right thigh and just gently press the hip crease forward as you pull the strap closer in. All right, let's take about 1 more deep breath here. And then we're gonna do the same thing. So make sure you can stabilize in this position as you release your hands, feeling the leg just floating here. Reach out through that top heel and feel the leg pull closer to you as it slightly shifts to the side. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Use your hands to the strap ends to help lift it back to center. Bend the knee, release the strap away from the right foot, and just go ahead and stretch both of your legs out. Shake them out, move them about here until you feel a little more opening and release into your right hip. You should feel kind of a well-rounded opening all the way around from one side to the back and all the way through the inside, okay? So now we're gonna bring a little balance by doing the same thing on the other side. So we'll start off in the same way by taking a bend into the knees and walking the feet in towards the hips. Okay, I'm gonna shift off a little bit here so you can have better angling. Left knee lifts up as the foot lifts off the ground, and then we're gonna take the strap and we're gonna bring it around the ball of the left foot this time. And then extend the left leg up. It's gonna feel pretty tight, especially after we've been on the other side for quite a bit, okay? So maybe there's a bend in the knee, that's okay. Work where you are to try to find as much extension as possible, and you're pulling the toes back to get a deeper stretch through the lower part of the leg as well. Now, as you pull in, try to relax tension from your shoulders, Okay, and right knee can stay bent or straighten it out nice and long. And if you are straightening it out, try to keep it actively reaching out through the foot as well. So we have two active legs, one more of an anchor, one we're feeling more of the sensations, okay? So you're pulling in as much as it feels good through that top leg, feeling out kind of where your thresholds are, making sure the breath is nice and smooth. We're gonna take just a couple more here before we start to work a little bit more of that engagement within the range of motion. So keep the strap over the foot and just simply engage the leg and release your hands from the strap. So now the leg is fully supporting itself through the strength and connection into your core muscles and your hips. So keep reaching up through the top foot, pulling the leg closer towards the upper body, engaging here for 3, 2, 1. Use your hands, reconnect them to the strap ends. Now we're going to take them both into your left hand, holding up high on the strap, but shoulder blade stays relaxed down. Right hand sets on top of the right hip to press it into the floor, opening your top leg out to the left side as much as it feels comfortable to do so. Now easing in, take time to kind of melt through the tension, through the little kinks. And then once you find your edge, really focus on that external rotation in that left hip. So the heel's angling up, the toes are angling down, but you're feeling that angling sensation all the way from the hip, okay? So the hip is creating that motion, not just your foot. Now, right hip stays anchored down with your right hand. Take 2 more breaths here. Keep reaching out long and pulling the leg closer towards you. Now, with the leg to the side, you can release, but keep your leg there, supporting itself. See if you can open it up a little bit more, focus on the external rotation, work on reaching out through the heel. One last breath. And then grab a hold of the strap ends with your left hand, help to lift the leg back to center. Once the leg is back to center, then we're gonna switch hands. Right hand holds on to the strap ends. Left hand can rest anywhere for now. Reaching up through the top leg, pull it in a little closer. We want to find the edge and that point of tension first, okay? Once you have it, slowly keep it as you take the leg a little over to the right side, maybe 2 or 3 inches. Doesn't have to be very much, okay? Reaching through the heel. If you do want that little bit of an assist, left hand to the left thigh, think hip crease. I'm pressing the hip crease forward as I pull the strap in closer. You're gonna feel a nice opening through the outer leg. Make sure you're taking deep breaths to make sure you're in that safe zone. Okay, now if you need to back off until you can support yourself, please do. Release your hand away from the strap ends. Keep reaching out through that top heel and feel the leg pulling closer to your upper body as you shift it just slightly over to the right side. One more breath. Hand connects to the straps again, lift it to center, bend the knee, release the strap away from your foot. You can set your strap out of your way for now. And just stretch the legs long, shake them out. All right, let's hug the knees to the chest, sway side to side. We're gonna start to lift this energy up. Grab the backs of your thighs, rock forward and back a few times. Hips, shoulders, rolling. And then next time you come up, try to hover your feet. Okay, if they need to touch down, it's okay, but try to hover them. You're gonna lift your chest. If you need to touch the hands down in front of you or behind you for support, you can also do that. Otherwise, hands to your thighs, spine up, shoulders release down away from the ears as the heart lifts, and try to bring your feet parallel with the ground or your calf muscles parallel with the ground. Pulling the thighs towards the chest, pull your belly button up and in. We're activating these hip flexors now after opening them. Arms forward. Maybe you extend the legs out. Your choice, your options. Hold for 3. Feel the core. Hold for 2. 1. And then bend your knees, cross the legs, sit the spine up nice and tall. Take a moment, close your eyes, hands to heart. Set an intention for your practice, something to guide you through, and use some of this heat and this fire that you've built towards growing this intention, sinking the roots down and rising from that foundation. Blinking open through the eyes, inhale, arms reach up tall, nice long lifted spine. Exhale, twist to the right side, left hand connects to the outer right knee, and right hand to the ground behind you. Lift your spine up with a deep breath in, and exhale, twist, rotating open, ribs and chest, maybe look back over your right shoulder. Take a couple more breaths. Inhale, lifting taller, really rise through the spine, and exhale, twisting in a little bit deeper. Last one here, lengthening and rotating. Continue to hold on to the knee. Back hand reaches up with an inhale, lifting the spine. And exhale, lean off to the left side, stretching that top arm overhead. One more breath. We're just lengthening out the side body, getting the torso a little more space. Inhale, the arms reach up as you unravel to center, reaching tall. Exhale, twist to the left side. Right hand connects to the outer left knee. Left fingertips to the floor right behind the hips. Lifting the spine, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, twisting open to the left side. Maybe look back over the left shoulder. Couple more breaths, lengthening taller. Inhale. Hold the space. Exhale, twisting a little deeper. Last one here. Inhaling and exhaling. Continue to hold on to the knee. Back hand reaches up with an inhale, long lifted spine. Exhale, lean off to that right side, stretch into the side body. Just feel space all the way down into that left hip. Inhale, come all the way back up, unravel to center as both arms stretch high over your head. And just a big morning stretch. Pull the elbows back, open up the heart, and sweep the arms down to your sides. Roll the shoulders forward and up as the spine lengthens. And exhale, roll them back and down. We're going to come into tabletop position. Maybe you sweep your legs around to the side, or maybe you rock forward over the knees, stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Neutral spine to begin. We're going to go through some cat-cow motions, opening up the spine, hips a little bit more. On your next breath in, hammock the belly down, drop it, lift the chest, lift the sit bones, coming into cow pose. Nice deep inhale here. And then on your exhale, chin to your chest, round your back, curling the tail under, and really hunch, lifting through the back body. Inhale, drop the belly, scoop the heart forward and up, feel the sit bones tilting up. And exhale, rounding, curling, squeezing, and flexing through the spine, cat. Do a few more rounds on your own. Incorporate any other additional movements or variations that help you feel more connected in your body today. Stay in your Ujjayi breath. Alrighty. Now, coming back, nice neutral tabletop. We're gonna maybe walk the hands forward if needed or walk the legs back. We're gonna come into our first plank position of the practice. So stretching the legs back nice and long, coming up onto the toes and creating a long line of energy from the heels to the crown of the head. Now you can also take a modified plank by dropping the knees, but notice I'm still creating a plank from my knees to the crown of my head, okay? Whether the knees are up or down, I'm not pulling the hips back, I'm not piking them up high. Keeping them nice and neutralized, take one more breath. Start to shift forward, maybe drop the knees, come all the way down to the ground. Lower onto the belly, untuck the toes, a few rounds of back bends to open up the spine. Press through the hands, inhale, peel the heart up, first round, take it easy. Exhale, right back down. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Exhale, right back down. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, downward facing dog. You can transition back through the knees first or all the way back, downward dog, by just tucking the toes. And we're gonna spend about 5 or so breaths in your downward dog. So feel free to walk it out, pedaling out your legs, bending one knee and then the other. Maybe come up onto the toes or swivel on your feet in any way that feels good for you today. Really press the weight back into those legs. Please know you can take rest, child's pose, or any other resting pose at any point throughout this practice. Now, inhale, come high up onto the toes. Exhale, looking forward towards your hands. Step or lightly hop forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Really draw the heart forward. Sit bones back. Extend your lower back, even if you need to bend the knees. Exhale, forward fold, release down. Inhale, come up to standing, any way that feels good. As you rise, lift and open up the chest. Feel it lift towards the ceiling. And exhale, forward fold, coming all the way back down. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Exhale, plant the palms, step or hop back, plank position, pausing here just briefly before we go through the vinyasa together again. So from your plank, whether it's modified or up on the toes, shifting weight forward, exhale, lower half or all the way down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog, lifting the heart, legs are active. And exhale, downward facing dog, make your way back. Slow your breath down. If you ever have too much energy or heat, you can open up the mouth and let it out, or just drop the knees and rest. One more breath here. Inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, looking forward, step or hop, top of the mat. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up, rise, open up the heart. Exhale, forward fold, coming all the way back down. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Exhale, vinyasa. On your own, plant the palms, step or hop back, lower into your chaturanga. Go through the motions, back bend on the inhale, and we'll meet in downward dog on your exhalation, which completes that vinyasa sequence. Let's step the feet together. Inhale your right leg up nice and tall. Let's open up the hip, bend the knee. Any movements you'd like here for a breath or two. Inhale, straighten the legs, square the hips. Exhale, knee to nose. As you pull it in, try to bring your shoulders over your wrists, round your back. Inhale, lift the leg up. One more time. Exhale, squeeze, knee to nose. Inhale, lift it up. And then take a big step forward between your hands. Make sure the knee stacks directly over the ankle. And then we're going to drop the back knee and release the toes. From here, inhale, arms reach up, low lunge position, Anjaneyasana. You're going to lengthen the tail towards the ground and just start to bend into that front knee. Sinking in here. One more breath. Then pull the hips back until they stack above the back knee. Maybe adjust your front foot. We're going to take the front foot. Let's drop the hands onto the thigh for now. You're going to take the front foot. I'm going to adjust so you can see a little bit better. And you're going to walk it all the way off to the side. Okay, as it walks off to the side, it's now pointing to the right side. Okay, from here, tail reaches down, arms up. If you need to rest your hands, you can do that as well. And then you're just going to bend into that right knee and sink it over. One more breath. Hips pull back to center, hands lower down to the ground. Walk them forward until wrists are underneath the shoulders. Now from here, all we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate the knee down as we lift the foot up into a fire hydrant pose. Nice, and then big circles, maybe straighten the leg for an extra challenge. Switch directions. Now stretch the right leg back nice and long behind you. You're gonna tuck your left toes and lift the hips up and back, three-legged dog. Now from here, this might be enough, lifting the leg and pressing your weight towards the back leg. If you want a little bit more, think standing splits. We're gonna walk the hands towards the back foot until you find your variation. One more breath. Lengthening the spine, walk the hands forward. You can keep the leg lifted for the chaturanga or lower it down. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. From here, let's go ahead. I'm gonna flip back around. Inhale your left leg up. Open up the hip, bend the knee, and same thing, give yourself a couple breaths to just kind of ease into your movement. Inhale, straighten out the legs, square the hips. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze it in, shoulders over wrist, round. Inhale, lift. Once again, exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, lift it tall. Exhale, big step forward between the hands, knee over the ankle, and then we can drop the back knee, release the toes. Inhale, the arms reach up, tail reaches down, and feel your hips sink towards the floor. Tail continues to stretch down, creating a nice lift and support through that lower back. One more breath. Hips pull back to stack over the back knee. Walk your front foot out to the left side, directly pointing to the left. Okay, now from here, tail wraps under, bend into your that left knee. Hands can always drop down if you need to. One more breath. Hips pull back to center, hands lower down. Hands are gonna walk forward, shoulders over wrists. Rotate through your left leg, fire hydrant. Foot lifts off the ground. Now, whether knee is bent or leg is straight, big circles. Switch directions. Then, leg sweeps back nice and long behind you. Tuck the right toes, lift the hips up and back. Three-legged dog. Now, same thing here. This might be enough, pressing weight towards the back leg. Maybe walk the hands in closer and gauge your appropriate depth. Standing split. One more breath. Long spine. Walk the hands forward. Top leg can stay lifted or lower it down. Take your vinyasa. Take a deep breath in. Open up your mouth and let it out. Again, deep breath in. Open up your mouth and release. Now let's inhale the right leg up. Exhale, take a big step forward to the front. This time you're gonna open up the back foot, 90-degree angle, and inhale, let's come up, warrior two position. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight and strong, spine is lifting tall, arms reaching forward and back. As you sink into the front leg, roll the thigh open. Maybe you need to adjust the front foot to find a little more space into that hip opening. Couple breaths, feel the intensity. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Reaching forward for triangle pose. Right hand reaches forward and down, maybe to your shin, a block, or even down to the ground. Left hand high. Notice the tendency to collapse into the bottom shoulder. Press it down, lift out of the shoulder, create more space to open up the chest. Maybe focal point goes up. One more breath. Now, as you look down, you're going to take your hands down and bend your front knee, okay? Now, I like to walk my front foot in a little bit closer for more space. What we're going to do from here is we're slowly going to walk the hands forward as we peel the back leg up parallel with the ground. You can use blocks underneath your hands for more space. Now, from here, whether your hands are on blocks or on the floor, blocks have more space. You're going to lift your chest, float your hands to heart center. Another breath. Now slowly come up to standing. Feel your left knee draw to the chest. Spine stays straight up and down. Don't lean backwards. Point the toes down. Keep that knee lifted and extend the leg out in front as best as you can. For 3, 2, 1. Standing split, sweep it all the way back and up. Hinge forward, hands can come to blocks or to the ground, lifting tall through the top leg. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Plant the palms, maybe walk them forward. Step or hop back, take your vinyasa. Nice. Give yourself a deep breath in and open up your mouth, let it go. Inhale your left leg up tall. Exhale, big step forward to the front of the mat. Back foot opens up 90 degrees. Let's inhale up, warrior 2 position. Bending into the front knee, back leg is straight. Nice opening in the front hip, sinking in, leveling the hips to get a nice stretch into that inner right groin as well. Gazing over the front hand, spine is tall and supported. One more deep breath. Inhale, straighten out the front leg, reaching forward. Utthita Trikonasana, left hand drops down, right hand high, shoulders are stacked, pressing into the bottom hand, opening up ribs and chest, top hand reaches, maybe follow the focal point up. Slowly bend the front knee as the hands come down to frame the front foot and pivot on the back foot. I'm going to wiggle the front foot in just a little bit for more space. Hands are going to walk forward, maybe using blocks or hands on the ground. Back leg lifts up parallel with the ground. If you are having trouble straightening your standing leg, use blocks. Come up onto your fingertips. Engage your core. Lift one hand to heart. Stabilize. Lift both hands to heart. Nice straight standing leg. Core is active. One more breath. Slowly come to standing. Feel your right knee lift towards your chest. Spine is going to stay straight up and down. Don't lean backwards. Point your right toes down. Keep the right knee up and extend out as best as you can. For 3, 2, 1. Standing splits. Lift the leg high as you hinge forward. Hands can drop down, blocks are to the ground. Lifting tall through that top leg. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Okay, walk the hands forward as much as you need to plant the palms. Step or hop back, take your vinyasa. Take a deep breath in. Open up your mouth, let it out. We're gonna go through basically the same sequence, a little bit different at the end, but we're gonna try to move a little bit quicker here. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, big step forward, back foot 90 degrees. Inhale, rise, warrior two. Sink in. On your next breath in, straighten the front leg, reaching forward. Exhale, triangle, right hand down, left hand high. Take a breath here. Exhale, bend the knee, hands come down, frame the foot, maybe walk it in. Then warrior three, hands forward, chest up, hands connect heart center. Breath. Inhale, come to standing, left knee to chest. Stabilize, point the toes, extend the leg. Now stay with me here. Rebend the knee. Point the knee towards the ground so the foot's behind you. And then flex the ankle. And then keeping the knee pointing down, squeeze the foot towards the glutes as you press your hips forward. Standing splits, hinging forward, left leg lifts. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, vinyasa, step or hop it back. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, big step to the front. Back foot 90. Inhale, rise, warrior two. Sink in. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reaching forward. Exhale, triangle pose. Breath in. Exhale, bend the knee, hands down. Walk the foot in slightly. Warrior three, walk the hands forward, float them up. Back leg lifts. Take a breath here. Slowly come to standing. Right knee lifts to the chest, point the toes, spine straight. Extend the leg. Now rebend the knee, point the knee down, foot behind you. Flex the ankle. Keep the knee pointing down as you squeeze the heel towards the glutes and feel your front hip points pressing slightly forward. Standing splits, hinge forward, hands down, right leg lifts. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, vinyasa, plant hands, step or hop it back. And let's take a quick child's pose. Sink the hips back, relax the spine, relax the head. We want to keep some of this energy. So if you need to, open up your mouth, sigh it out. Otherwise, just 2 more breaths. Coming forward, tabletop, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Now let's walk the hands to the feet, come to the back of your mat. Lengthen the spine on an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reaching up, open up the chest. And then let's take the hands together, heart center. Okay, so we're gonna grab straps as an option. Okay, but we're gonna do hand big toe pose, a standing balance. We did this on our backs with the strap. We're gonna do the same thing, but now balancing on one leg. So if you need to use a wall space for balance or support, you're more than welcome. The strap is a nice extension for the arms, but I'm gonna show you one trick. If you are using the strap around the foot, rather than strapping it low, and then you're trying to use your whole body to lift it up, okay? You can strap it below your foot, lift the knee first, and then hold the strap to the inside of the leg, nice and close to the foot. So you're holding it in place. Knee is gonna stay up, and then you're gonna extend out while keeping the knee lifted, and just let the strap slide through the hand as much as you need, okay? Now, you can also just grab the big toe with your peace fingers and thumb and work on extending. It's okay to have a bend in the knee as long as the spine is straight, or you work full extension, okay? So go ahead, get your strap if you're gonna use it. I'm gonna stay at the back of the mat, and actually I'm gonna face more towards you, but you can face anywhere you'd like. Weight in your left leg, strap around the right foot, and lift the right knee, or peace fingers and thumb reach around the big toe on that right side. Left hand, left hip. Find a focal point, and then extend your right leg in front as much as you're able while keeping the spine nice and tall. Deep breath here. If you fall out, just come back. Slowly open the leg out to the right side. Maybe your focal point switches over your left shoulder. Slowly bring the leg back to center. Keep it lifted. Hands to hips, point the toes, hold for 3, 2, 1. Set the leg down, shake it out. Got lots of wobbles today. Part of the practice. Okay, we're gonna do that other side. Weight into your right leg. Right hand to your right hip. Either strap around the left foot, bending the left knee, holding onto the strap on the inside, or left peace fingers and thumb, catch big toe. Spine stays straight. Slowly extend the leg. Maybe strap slides through the hand. Straighten as much as you can while keeping the back lifted. Breathing here. Concentrate on your focal point. Opening the leg out to the left side. Keep it lifted. Maybe switch your drishti over your right shoulder. Can be little points. Doesn't have to be one swift turn. Gaze comes back to center. Lift the leg back to center. Keep the leg here. Hands to hips, point the toes, keep it lifted. Don't lean back. 3, 2, 1. Set the foot, shake out the legs. Let's make our way to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, step or hop back. Take your final vinyasa, and then meet in downward dog. And actually, meet in child's pose. Drop the knees, sink the hips to the heels, relax your spine, your head, and just settle. Slow your breath down once again, but this time allow some of that energy to really drop. Three more deep breaths. Okay. Slowly come forward. Let's sweep the legs around and come into a nice comfortable seat. All right, so I'm gonna have us face sideways on our mats, drop back on the hands, and separate. I'm sitting slightly off of my mat so that my legs are gonna take up more of the mat space area. Feet are a little wider than my hips, and I'm gonna let the knees swivel to the right side. As they swivel to the right, I'm gonna rock onto my right hip, and my left hip is gonna be a little more lifted. Okay, we're gonna set up for 90-90 sit. So right shin, we're gonna line it up with the front edges of the mat. And then your back shin is gonna line up with the side of your mat. 2 90-degree angles into your knees. You're gonna spin to face towards your right leg, and then slowly start to hinge over and release. You can stay on your fingers, you can lower onto blocks, forearms, or chest towards the floor. Wherever you are, give yourself about 5 or 6 really slow breaths and try to melt through that initial tension and dropping in a little bit deeper. Feel yourself melt through the layers. We're going to take let's take 3 more breaths. Spine lifts up as you come up onto the hands. You can stay leaned slightly forward, but we're going to slowly just feel the back foot try to lift away from the ground. It's okay if it doesn't, but try your best to lift that back foot up, emphasizing the internal rotation on your left hip. 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Left hand sweeps behind you as you swivel your knees to center, and we're going to go right into the other side. Swivel knees to the left, line up the legs. Shins are going to be parallel with the side or the front of the mat. 2 90-degree angles. Flex through the ankles, spin towards the left leg, spine up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, start to slowly hinge over your left leg. Stand your hands, blocks, forearms, or lowering all the way towards the ground. Feel it out. Take in the sensations. And try to relax your body as best as possible as you settle in. So start working through some of those layers of tension, that exterior shell, and start to find more of the softness underneath. Slow your breath down. Let's take 2 more really slow breaths. Maybe you're able to melt in a little bit more. Slowly come up onto your hands. And then staying here, we're going to feel the internal rotation as we try to lift the back foot up. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Lower it back down. Right hand sweeps behind you as you swivel your knees back to center. Sweep the legs around and come down onto your back, hugging the knees to your chest and just swaying side to side, or move in any way that your body craves right now. Especially after just opening up those hips, if they need a little extra love and attention, give it. All right, feet to the floor with the knees bent. We're just going to take a couple active bridge pose variations. We started off with more of a passive releasing one, so now we're going to feel more of the activation through the back sides of the legs. So feet approximately hips width or so. Hands down to the sides, press to the feet, inhale, lift up through the hips, maybe tuck the shoulders. You can always clasp your hands if you'd like. Ground through the base of the big toes and feel the hip points lifting. Ground through the shoulder heads, or ground through the backs of your shoulders, rather. 1 more breath. Maybe lift the heels, roll the spine back down to the ground. Give yourself a quick pause here. We're going to do 1 last round. As you ground down through your feet, inhale, lift the hips back up, tuck the shoulders, maybe interlace the fingers, maybe not. Press through the shoulders, press through the feet, ground through the base of the big toes. 3, 2, 1. Imagine trying to straighten out the legs, and then slowly melt the spine all the way back down. Swivel the knees side to side, relax once again. We're going to take 2 brief little twists just to kind of wring everything back out, and then we'll settle and relax. Right knee to chest, left leg long. Grab the knee with your left hand, right arm falls to the side. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, twist. Pull it over to the left and down. Maybe the head rolls off to the right side. Right shoulder blade stays heavy. Give yourself just a couple more breaths. Feel the subtleties here of expansion on the inhale. And maybe guiding yourself in a little deeper on the exhale. One more breath. Head to center, slowly lift your knee to center, and then we're going to switch legs. Right leg goes out long in front of you, left knee pulls into the chest. Use your hands. Inhale, grab the knee with your right hand, left arm to the side. Exhale, pull the knee to the right and down, twist, right, the left shoulder blade stays heavy. Head can roll over to the left. Same thing, just taking a couple nice releasing breaths here. Feel a little bit of movement with your breath, helping to open and release even deeper. Head rolls to center, knee lifts to center. Let's hug both knees in here. Arms wrap around the legs, squeeze in nice and tight. And then we're going to slowly release out for our Shavasana. So you can stretch the legs out long on the ground, open them up a little wider than the mat, and let the feet just flop out. Arms out, falling off the mat. Let the shoulders roll open, heart rolls open. Nice natural curl in the hands and fingers. A couple nice cleansing breaths that we'll take together here. Let's start by emptying out the lungs, release. Take a slow breath in, filling all the way up through the entire body, from the bottom to the top. All directions open and expand, and hold at the top here. And then go ahead and open up your mouth and exhale, sigh it all the way out. Again, let's take a nice slow breath in from the bottom all the way to the top. Take your time, expanding out and around all directions, lifting to the surface any last little bits of tension that you might be feeling. Squeeze it to the top. And then open up your mouth and exhale, sigh, let it all the way out. Now, if you need another one of those, go for it. But just allow yourself to settle back into more of a relaxed, natural, everyday breath. No effort, no force or control is needed to feel the simplicity of just being in your natural state of rest, relaxation, and ease. So start to allow more of those sensations to take over. Feel less inclined to grip or attach or control, and just start to melt deeper below the surface. We won't be here for too long. If you want a longer Shavasana, you can always just hit pause now and take as long of a Shavasana as feels right for you. Otherwise, we're just going to be here for about another minute or so. I'm going to fall silent on my end, and just allow yourself to drop and relax. So like mentioned, if you're needing longer, please take longer to just be in this space of relaxation. Otherwise, we're going to start to bring little movement into our fingers and toes as we take deeper, fuller breaths. Rotate your wrists, your ankles, sway through your head. Maybe give yourself a full body stretch. Arms over your head, reaching hands to feet, shifting, moving. Knees lift to the chest as the hands wrap around the legs. Give yourself a couple sways from side to side. And just rolling over to either side that you feel called to in this moment. And using your top hand to press into the ground and lift yourself all the way into an upright seated position. Any one of your choosing. Eyes are closed as the spine lifts. Hands joined together at heart center. Take a moment to just feel your body, feel connected to it, and being grateful for all that it does. So much love and gratitude from me to you. Thank you so much. Thanks, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the practice. Hopefully it was able to lift the energy up a little bit, get some good movement, some strengthening and opening within the body, the hips, the hamstrings, the core, and all the stabilizing muscles throughout the body. So I'd love to hear your feedback. Otherwise, I'll be seeing y'all soon. Thank you.